Hello there, Libra. Thank you so much for stopping by for your weekly tarot video forecast. This forecast is for the week of April the 4th through the 10th. We are going to be pulling one card for each day to get a little bit of the highlights or maybe even the themes of the week as we go through. And so I do want to remind you as I'm putting cards down, this is a collective reading. I'm going to be putting the energy of all the Libras watching this video together. If you would like to have a reading that is just about your energy, then feel free to book a private reading with me. You can see how to do that and get all my contact information at the website at the top of the screen. So let's see here. And this being a collective reading, this means that not everything I see is going to apply to every single Libra. Most of it will apply to most of you. Okay, so let's jump in. We're going to look at Saturday first, and here we have the universe. Woot woot, we like that card. And then Sunday, we have the Six of Cups in reverse. Not so much of a woot woot card. So Saturday with the universe, this talks about that we are completing something that we've been working on completing for a while. This can be completing a class or a seminar, a certification process. This can be completing a phase in a relationship and being able now to move on to the next one. But we're completing something that we've been working towards for a while and getting it taken care of on Saturday. This could even be for, I don't know how many of you, not very many probably, but this could even be completing, like you've completed all the planning, all the putting together of a wedding. And maybe you are a part of a wedding and now you can move on with the honeymoon or the rest of your life because that's not taking up so much bandwidth anymore. So, as far as the wedding itself, that's going to be for maybe one of you, probably not for everybody, but that did come in, so we're going to mention it. Now, looking at Sunday, we do have the Six of Cups coming up in reverse. Six of Cups in reverse talks about remembering sometimes that we're not so hot. These are memories that we look back and we just think, oh, thank goodness I'm not in that situation anymore. Sometimes these memories come in with a person holding on to these memories and presenting them to us. And so, excuse me, but if that's the case, you may not want to spend that much time with this person. May not be that great of an experience. And so you may limit that really quickly. Boop-a-da-doo-doo. Most of you will, actually. Now we're going to look at the week. So we're starting with Monday's card. We have the Lovers in reverse starting off there. We have the Page of Wands for Tuesday. We have, what is this? We have the Fool showing up in reverse on Wednesday. And perfect card for hump day, actually. Thursday, we have the Horned One in reverse. Who else got that for Thursday? That might have been Gemini. Gemini or Cancer. All right, so Friday, we have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. All right, so let's talk about this. Those of you who have not been here before, please don't stress out because we've got a lot of reversals on the table. Doesn't mean anything really here for me. Some readers will tell you, oh, reversals are always bad. That is just not true, at least not when I read cards. So like I said, don't stress. We're going to walk through all this stuff. So Monday, Lover's card coming up in reverse. This could be the end of some kind of partnership, whether it's a really strong friendship or a romantic partnership or a business partnership. For some of you, I get the strong impression that this is a planned ending. You may be coming out of contract with somebody, or there may be maybe they're graduating or you're both graduating, and so you're moving in different directions now. But for some of you, this may be more like the idea of, we just don't agree anymore, and so we're agreeing to go our separate ways. But there's something here about bringing something to an end that you would have considered some type of partnership. Doesn't have to be romantic, okay? And I do feel it has strong vibes of a planned ending, so I don't think I'm going to be surprising any of you watching. This isn't going to be something that comes out of the blue. Let's see, Tuesday. Page of Wands showing up here. This is just somebody is telling you, yes, I'm on board with that plan. So you have some kind of plan that makes you feel enthusiastic and inspired to move forward with it, whether it's buying a house, going on a trip, making a new purchase, whatever this is somebody saying, yep, we can do that. So this can be a loan officer saying, yes, we're improving your loan, or this can be your friend saying, yep, we can take my vehicle or whatever. Okay, but somebody is coming on board with you for some kind of inspiring plan that you have. Now, Wednesday, Fool card showing up in reverse. Fool card in reverse just tells me that there's something that you started in the past that was a leap of faith, and you knew not where it was going to take you when you started it. Now, what we see on Wednesday is that you are reevaluating that leap of faith that you took, and you are asking yourself, is there any more juice in this? Has it served its purpose? Do I want to continue forward with it? If I do I want to make any adjustments to it? And so when this card shows up, this tells me that ultimately you'll end up moving forward with this leap of faith. You may make some adjustments to make it work in the present time for you, or you may keep it just the same. But either way, you're still moving forward with this leap of faith. You're not throwing it in the towel. You're not feeling like it's already served its purpose and it's done. Now let's look at Thursday. So we have the horned one, and I was explaining to the last sign that got this. They also got it in reverse and on Thursday, which is kind of wild to me. And I can't remember which sign it was. It's one of the earlier ones I did today. Anyway, horned one in reverse. This would normally be like the devil in reverse, but in this deck, the horned one has a little bit of a different nuance to it than the devil card. So the horned one really calls us to be responsible about something. And when it comes in right side up, it's saying we're not really handling something responsibly. And a lot of times I see this having to do with things around the earth, but really this could be anything. The earth is just the association I get from this deck, because you can see there's a lot of forest cards actually in this deck. So when this card comes up like this tells me that we are being responsible about something, and this may be a change that we actually make on Thursday, or it may be a change that kind of comes in before, but we're really on top of it on Thursday, being very responsible in how we're handling something in our lives. And with this card coming in, the temptation would be to not do that, to not be responsible about it. But when this is in reverse, we are being responsible about it. In spite of the temptation, I think we're realizing, the better outcome for the long term is for us to go ahead and take responsibility now and move forward with that. So that's what we see for Thursday. Friday, Knight of Pentacles showing up in reverse. This just tells me that you're doing something that's blowing your budget on Friday. It might be that you're not doing what you know you need to do to bring the money in, not bringing home the bacon today, baby. That's what we see with that card. Or you're doing some impulse spending, or something came up that you need to pay for that you weren't expecting. The bottom line is that the budget is taking a hit on Friday. Yep, I'm just going to leave it there. The budget's taking a hit on Friday. We'll stop talking there. All right, so it's interesting. I think it was maybe it was Virgo or maybe Leo that had payday was delayed, and they also had an expense coming out that maybe they were kind of juggling things to make that work. So it's interesting. It makes me wonder if you're not associated somehow with a Virgo or a Leo, whoever that showed up for, the way this shows up with the budget being out of whack. Because if your partner has got a paycheck that's coming in slow or not coming in at all until they rattle the cage, then this could be you going, oh my gosh, what are we going to do with this budget? That doesn't work. That could be that. Now, it doesn't have to be. A lot of you are not going to have partners, and it's really seriously just going to be about you not being the one taking care of business. But for some of you who have partners, that could be actually influencing there. All right. So that's what we have for the week. Thank you guys so much for being here. I do appreciate it. If I don't see you here for a reading or a Reiki session or even a mentoring session, if you're trying to harness your own abilities, then I will see you guys back on the next video. Peace out.